Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Mojave Road Chippin', the show that brings New Vegas to life by taking you right to the amazing real-world locations. And boy, oh boy, do we have a treat for you today. A living ghost town full of Wild West history and independent spirit. Located about 57 miles south of Las Vegas at the crossroads of State Route 95 and 164, you'll discover Searchlight, Nevada, a wonderfully quirky little Mojave town that's a lot more than a place to grab a bite or fuel up when traveling between Laughlin and Vegas. It's a wacky wasteland spot that, like Good Springs and so many other Mojave hidden gems, truly defines the spirit of the American West and is a snapshot into the heart and soul of the American identity. Originally in search of the Lost Dutchman mine in Arizona, George Frederick Colton, a Mormon prospector from Provo, Utah, discovered gold in the El Dorado Canyon area where he laid his first claim in May of 1897. Legend has it that upon discovering the site, he lit up his pipe with a match from a box of Searchlight matches, giving the town its name. Other accounts hold that it was named after a steamer ship that traveled up and down the Colorado River, or that it was named for the searchlights leading customers to the local brothel and casino. Former U.S. Senator and renowned Searchlight historian Harry Reid states it got its name when George Colton famously stated, "There's something here, boys, but it would take a searchlight to find it." Personally, I like the match story, and the locals seem to like that one the most too. Regardless of how the town got its name, one thing is for certain, there was definitely gold in them thar hills, and in no time at all the town boomed. In just 2 years, the town's population grew from several hundred to close to 1,500 when a narrow gauge railroad was constructed to support the mines. By 1907, the population exploded to over 5,000. Colton's original mine, the Duplex Mine, so named for its 2 levels of gold ore, was the main claim of over 300 that would be discovered, fueling the gold fever and giving Searchlight a population larger than that of Las Vegas at the time. In fact, Searchlight nearly became the seat of Clark County, but due to the fact that the Union Pacific Railroad was already established in Vegas, the rival city was chosen instead. But as is typically the case with western mining towns, the boom was short-lived. By 1927, the mines were drying up and the population went into a decline. In 1919, a flood destroyed the small railroad line, wreaking havoc on the now struggling gold town. Then, in 1923, U.S. Route 91 bypassed Searchlight altogether, causing the population to drop to 50. But Searchlight wasn't finished yet. In the 1930s, the Hoover Dam project helped the struggling little town bounce back to a degree. The same effect the Hoover Dam had on Vegas was also enjoyed by Searchlight. Workers flooded in, and visionaries saw a new fortune to be made, and one as true to the American West as gold: brothels, casinos, and wild entertainment. And that visionary for Searchlight was a man of true legend, Willie Martello, the founder of the El Rey Club. Now, you Wastelanders may recognize the name El Rey Motel, but in New Vegas, the El Rey is way up in Southgate, just below Las Vegas proper. But shortly after returning home from serving in World War II, Willie Martello and his brothers set up the El Rey Club in the struggling little town of Searchlight, seeing an opportunity there and a freedom to operate away from the growing sprawl and the influence of the mob in Vegas. Willie Martello was a larger-than-life figure who epitomized the casino boss on every level, a hard-drinking womanizer who lived life to its fullest and loved every minute of it. Well, heck, he even had a role in a Western. He was wildly popular with the patrons and loved by all who visited and enjoyed the wild times at the El Rey Club. He chartered buses to bring in tourists and celebrities from Los Angeles, and even built an airstrip right behind the El Rey to bring them in luxury. He single-handedly put Searchlight back on the map. Martello defined the independent spirit and lived life on his own terms. It was well known that on Christmas, he would travel to Vegas and spend considerable sums of money on gifts for children and hand them out personally in underprivileged areas, making him a beloved figure of the Las Vegas scene. Sadly, The El Rey Club was lost to a tragic fire in the 1950s and was never restored to its original glory. Shortly after, Willie Martello passed in 1962. A historical marker at the original site of the El Rey Club commemorates Willie's amazing life. If you'd like to learn all about the amazing life of Willie Martello and the fantastic El Rey Club, read The King of Casinos by Andy Martello. No relation, by the way. He's a Vegas comedian and a fantastic author. The book is wonderful. Today, the El Rey operates as a motel in the original location. It looks similar in style to the original El Rey Club, with its classic 1950s design, which the game developers faithfully reproduced in New Vegas. Notice the similar peaked roof and classic 50s styling of the real-world version. So now that you know all about the El Rey Club and the motel, let's explore more of Searchlight and see what else we can discover. Come on! Now, I did just mention the Searchlight airstrip. The one Willie Martello built is just down from the El Rey Motel, but it's literally just an airstrip in the middle of a field and doesn't resemble the in-game Searchlight Airport. However, about 10 miles farther south on State Route 95, you'll find the Cal Neva Airport, which supports visitors traveling to Laughlin and Vegas. This one closely resembles the in-game version and is, what I suspect, was the inspiration for the designers. Notice the two outbuildings back there. They are exact matches to the in-game version. The only thing missing is the tower, but you can't have everything. Now, if you notice... Oh my gosh! Red scorpions! Guys, go back! Red scorpions headed this way! Every scout for himself! Later! Traveling a little further into the town of Searchlight, you'll discover the Searchlight Volunteer Fire Station, Station 75. Now, the in-game version may look a little more like a traditional old-fashioned firehouse, but notice the three distinctive roll-up doors and the main entrance door just to the left of them. This is an exact match to the in-game version. Now, we're not able to get inside because the fire station's closed right now, but maybe if we're lucky we can talk to a town resident. Here comes one now. Hi!
Hi.
I'm Chipmunk, and your name?
Kenny.
Monk. Hi, Kenny. So, welcome to the Chipmunk Show. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the fire station in Searchlight?
It's usually closed.
Yeah, it's closed.
It's pretty new. They probably got the cleanest vehicles and stuff around.
Oh,
and I mean, they rescue a lot of people. They do a lot of good work.
And where do they operate? How is all Searchlight, or do they go out farther than that, or?
Yeah, they go all over.
Oh, cool.
They go all over, down to the cove, all over.
So have you seen
Laughlin.
any giant scorpions in there, like 20 feet long, 10 feet tall?
Last week, maybe something like that, crawling around.
All right, so I'm not feeling real comfortable about being here right now based on that, so...
I don't know if it was, what it was, a lizard or something.
Well, that's okay. We don't need that, so...
What's that on your arm?
How long have you been in Searchlight?
Since 1976.
Oh, wow! Take that, folks, 76.
I haven't been eaten by no scorpion.
Oh, well,
of course, I'm a Scorpio. I got scorpions tattooed on me.
I'm a Scorpio. What's your birthday?
6th.
The 6th. Mine's the 29th, so fellow Scorpios. So,
Sting.
So how do you like Searchlight?
I love Searchlight. There's not a stoplight in town.
Yeah, that's a plus.
It beats Las Vegas.
Yeah. Although we couldn't get inside the fire station, Kenny told us all about the Town Museum and Interpretive Trail. The museum, located at 200 Michael Wendell Way in the heart of Searchlight, is filled with wonderful exhibits and displays which bring the town's history to life. From displays and exhibits dedicated to the town's mining history to those dedicated to the native culture, this museum has it all. You can learn about the early days in Searchlight and how people lived and what they did for entertainment. And speaking of entertainment, You'll learn all about some of the more famous residents and visitors, such as Rex Bell and Clara Bow, who we learned about in the Nipton episode, as well as famed Hollywood costume designer Edith Head, whom most of us know as the inspiration for the incredible superhero costume designer Edna Mode. Just behind the Museum and Community Center, you can learn even more about Searchlight by taking the walk down the beautiful interpretive trail that winds through the community park. Along the way, you'll be able to stop at informative signs highlighting various sites and geological formations in the area. You can learn all about the mountains that surround Searchlight, as well as nearby Lake Mojave. Other signs provide all kinds of information about other facets of Searchlight's history, such as cattle ranching. Here, you can learn all about the various local ranches and see all the different brands used by each one. The interpretive trail encircles the beautiful community park, giving a 360-degree tour of Searchlight and the amazing areas all around it. It winds back to the museum, which makes for a great way to complete your Searchlight tour. But education's not the only purpose of the interpretive trail. You can find exercise stations and get into a little physical fitness at the same time. Yeah, okay. That's enough for the chipster. Just a little further east of Searchlight, and on the way down to Cottonwood Cove, on Cottonwood Cove Road, you'll spot a small house perched up on a nearby hill that is in the exact spot where the sniper's nest is in the game. Notice the mountain ridge, exactly like it appears in the game. It was clearly the inspiration for the sniper's nest, but fortunately for me, it's only somebody's house, and I seriously doubt those somebodies are indiscriminate snipers with a serious dislike for passers-by. In fact... Snipers! Snipers!
How'd you miss? You have a giant yellow head.
Second time's the charm.
Stop! Don't shoot me! Don't shoot me!
Really?
Stop! You got me!
All right. Got him.
Coyote, no. Coyote, go away. Go away. We're playing dead here. We're playing dead. Coyote, no. Go away. Go away.
I think they're finally gone. And that's my cue to hightail it on out of here. See you next time, folks, when we visit Cottonwood Cove and take a ride up to Lake Mead. Till next episode.